Welcome back to our channel, a place that brings you majestic journeys in the vast ocean, where brave people brave the waves to bring back precious gifts from the sea. In today's video, we invite you to admire the beautiful and emotional moments in the process of catching king crabs, a rare giant crab, by experienced American fishermen in the cold waters off the coast of Alaska. This is not only a journey to make a living, but also a harmony between humans and nature, a story of perseverance, courage, and a burning love for the profession. The sky was not yet completely bright. Thick fog covered the sea like a white curtain. On the deck of a modern fishing boat tens of meters long, silhouettes moved silently. The roar of the engine cut through the quiet space. That was when the fishermen began a hard day's work. The ship's lights were on, casting long streaks of light on the cold water. Once again, they prepare for a multi-day journey at sea. On deck, giant king crab cages are stacked, waiting to be lowered into the deep sea. Each cage weighs hundreds of kilograms, and is attached with fresh bait, usually herring or salmon, to lure this large, highly valuable crab. King crabs usually live at depths of 150 to 300 meters below the surface, where temperatures are freezing and pressure is extremely high. But it is in this harsh place that the giant crabs with giant claws and thick shells thrive the most. As the sun begins to rise above the horizon, the first traps are lowered into the sea. The fishermen work together like a precision machine. One crane operator lowers each trap into the water. Another marks the GPS coordinates, and the cage stacking team stands on the edge of the ship, holding the ropes, watching carefully. The moment the traps gradually sank into the ocean was the moment hope began. No one said a word, only the sound of waves, the sound of machines operating and eyes full of determination. After many hours of waiting, even a whole day, the team started to pull the cages up again. This was the moment when the whole ship was anxiously waiting for a miracle to happen. A cage was pulled up from the deep sea. Seawater poured out like a waterfall as it passed the water surface. And then, joy seemed to explode. Inside the cage were dozens of giant king crabs, spreading their claws, clinging to the cage walls. Some were nearly a meter long, with bright red claws standing tall like weapons of war. Cheers rang out, smiles were bright on the sunburned, wind-tanned faces of the fishermen. They quickly pulled the cages onto the deck, checked each crab, weighed and classified them. The qualified crabs, big enough, strong enough, will be put into cold water tanks to keep them alive, while those that are too small or of poor quality will be released back into the sea, ensuring the sustainability of the fishing industry. When dozens of traps are pulled up one by one, the deck becomes busier than ever. Hundreds of king crabs sparkle in the early morning light, with their characteristic red-orange color and rough shells creating a vivid picture. Not only is it the result of a long night of hard work, it is also a symbol of the faith and perseverance of people at sea. In the midst of that scene, seemingly ordinary moments become beautiful. The focused eyes of the crane operator, the calloused hands carefully checking each crab, the sweat rolling down the forehead despite the cold sea wind, each pull of the rope, each time the cage is stacked. Each nod carries responsibility and love for the traditional fishing profession. Many times during the fishing process. Thank you for continuing to accompany us on our journey to conquer the ocean. Right after the breathtaking moments of catching king crabs in the cold sea, our journey will now move to another scene, where giant bluefin tuna fishing boats are cutting through the waves towards the horizon, starting a majestic quest for the steel warriors of the deep ocean. Bluefin tuna, also known as the king of sea fish, is not only a symbol of strength and speed, but also one of the most expensive and sought-after seafood in the world. They can be more than 2 meters long, weigh hundreds of kilograms and swim at speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour, and just like catching king crabs, hunting bluefin tuna requires precision, endurance, and a burning passion from experienced American fishermen. Tuna fishing boats are equipped with advanced technology, fish school detection radar systems, satellite positioning devices, super-fast cooling systems and large hydraulic rods. When the fishing team receives information about the appearance of a large school of tuna moving in the offshore waters, the whole group immediately accelerates. The engines roar. The boat glides through the rolling waves. When they reach the right coordinates, the sailors quickly drop bait and fishing rods into the sea. Hundreds of meters-long coils of line are lowered using handline or automatic pulling techniques. And then, as soon as the giant tuna bite, the battle begins. The jerks are so strong that the whole boat sways. The fishermen hold the line tightly, tightening each loop, straining their muscles, sweating under their cold clothes. Each tuna is pulled onto the deck with tremendous weight, silver glittering in the sunlight, blue fins shining like sharp swords. Hundreds of tuna are loaded onto the ship. Stored in a deep freeze at sub-zero temperatures to preserve their freshness. The sight of giant tuna lined up neatly on the deck, their bodies glistening, their eyes round and their skin smooth, is truly breathtaking. It is not only the result of the labor, but also a scene showing the majesty of nature and humans living in harmony with the ocean. The ship then quickly returns to port to transfer the fish to a specialized processing plant. Here, another equally magnificent process begins. The giant tuna are unloaded by forklift, transferred to the sorting, weighing and cleaning line. Each fish is gutted with a specialized knife, fast, neat and precise slices performed by skilled workers like real samurai chefs. The bright red, shiny tuna fillets are cut according to extremely strict standards, classified by meat quality, fat content, and color. The fatty fish body, called otoro, is packaged separately for the high-end market. The rest is also carefully processed. From the skin, head to bones, nothing is wasted. The entire factory operates like a giant but extremely rhythmic machine. Every step is automated. The cold chain, vacuuming, labeling and packaging. The fresh fish after processing will be packaged immediately and shipped to large fish markets, famous sushi restaurants, or exported to Japan, Korea, Europe. That is where the silky red meat becomes a high-class dish, which can cost several $1,000s per kilo. Under the light of the modern factory, each piece of tuna is carefully and lovingly treated like a work of art. From the ship in the cold sea to the processing plant with strict procedures, everything is a perfect connection. Where people blend with nature, making use of all resources intelligently and sustainably. The final moment when the fish crate is sealed, stamped with traceability, and loaded onto a truck to leave the factory. That is the end of an arduous but fulfilling journey. The people behind that journey, from the fishermen pulling the ropes at sea to the workers cutting the fish in the factory, deserve all the respect. They are not only creating food, they are writing the vivid story of the sea. Every day, every night. If you feel touched and impressed by the realistic and emotional images in today's video, please give us a like. Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue following the next journeys of the fishing industry, where every drop of sweat, every wind, every wave marks the efforts and beliefs of the persistent workers. See you in the next video, where the wonders of the ocean will continue to be discovered and honored. Sincerely thank you.